One peaceful spring night, inside a castle in Japan, a captain was asked by his lone sword contingent to tell them a frightening story, to otherwise amuse them during this night, the night of drills which they did not look forward to. This particular captain sighed and began speaking, and told them a story of a ghostly commander, a commander who traveled through time, a commander whose ruthlessness knew no bounds, and who could be spotted by his mysterious floating wings, which struck fear into the hearts of his soon-to-be victims. They call this man a widowmaker. They call him a tyrant. They call him a bloodthirsty maniac. But most importantly of all, they call him Patchy. Dun dun dun! Oh my goodness, it's Patchy, the one of whom the story was being told. And look at him, sitting there in all of his majestic splendor, even with the floating wings, here to make all of their frightening tales come true. I hope you like my retarded story, YouTube. So this is a siege battle, because you asked me to do one. I have it in slow motion for the time being, and then I'll speed it up. On this side, I've got 3 Nagi attendants, a Waka Raider, 2 Katana Samurai, Long Yari, Marathon Monk. I'll explain that later. And there is the infamous bloodthirsty Patchy. On this side, I've got 2 Naginata attendants, 4 Naginata Samurai, 4 sword attendants, and a Katana Hero moving in on this fort. So this is the Hilltop Fortress. My opponent is fielding 2 Bow Samurai on this side, 1 more on this side, and a Matchlock Ashigaru. And he's going to be dealing out some pretty serious missile damage. He's got, I believe it's 5 units of lone swords and a Yari Samurai, in which he probably should have brought a Katana Samurai. And then he's got his general hiding here behind this building in case I brought a lot of arrows. Which I did not bring any arrows. You can bring arrows in siege equipment. However, whenever I'm fighting in a smaller castle like this, I prefer to just rush my opponent, because you can force their missiles back by using a meat shield tactic like I'm using here. Alright, let's put it into play and see how the battle unfolds. So you can see my opponent intelligently switching targets, targeting my more expensive units, and leaving my Nagi attendants alone. This means that I have to take action quickly. So very good of him to switch targets like that. You can see that he's now doing the same thing on this side. The only unit that's going to have any effect on this side, though, is his Matchlock Ashigaru. And that's because these Nagi Samurai are just too well armored. He's also targeting my sword attendants right here, which is smart because they are lightly armored. And he can take out as many of them as possible. And the idea is to burn down the gatehouse so that my Katana Hero can just waltz on through. That is Patchy's Seppuku swords. So there they are marching in. And you can see over here my men are already breaching the walls and taking down his archers. My opponent should have pushed his archers back, but he did not. So you're going to see the first blood being spilt over here, inside the fort at least. Obviously my men had a lot of blood spilt getting in there. Over here he did not oppose these guys like he should have. So my Katana unit has made it up into the fort. He is going to countercharge them with this Yari Samurai now, though. So there, that fight's going to start. You can see some of my guys getting skewered. So the fort, the reason why his army is smaller is because the people defending the fort get a lot less money to use. And then look who it is. The feared Patchy has ridden into the fort to strike fear into the heart of his enemy directly. So yes, I brought Patchy in to help support these units. And I'm going to run him over here and throw him into stand and fight, where he will put up a heroic stand on his own. Over here I've got Nagi Samurai running through the doorway, followed closely by more Nagi Samurai and my Katana Hero, while the walls are still being scaled by sword attendants, who are coming up here and killing these Bow Samurai and Matchlock Ashigaru. So the fight's going pretty well. On this side, I ran my Marathon Monks through, and I'm going to use these guys' special ability, which is the Second Wind. And the idea was that I knew my men would be tired, so I ran in, War Cried, popped the Second Wind, as to make my units stronger in this vicinity and to outflank. So the Marathon Monks themselves, not a great unit for a siege battle, but by bringing them in last, I avoided the arrow fire and was able to use their special abilities, and they have a decent attack otherwise. Alright, so Patchy's now in stand and fight, being attacked by a lone sword unit. And at first his unit's going to get a little torn up. In the actual battle, Patchy did not rout, though I do believe he does rout eventually in this particular fight. I am attacking the enemy general with my sword attendants right here. I'm going to take them on. See a bloody mess going on there, and then my Katana Hero has now entered the fight as well. they're going to be right over here in this vicinity, probably kicking some serious butt, as they have extremely high stats. So you can hear that the fight is indeed going well for me. My opponent played pretty well. The best thing he could have done, though, was garrison these units in the walls before my men finish scaling, and then they can do the most damage that way. Let's check out Patchy. Here's the floating wingsman himself. Looks like he's covered in blood, which is good to see. Oh, look, this dude just got decapitated. Let's see if Patchy can dispatch any of these guys. Oh, you just got patchified. So did you. Get him, Patch. I think he's running away now. No? No, he's still slaying people. There he goes. Alright, so Patchy's gotten his blood, and he's going to leave the battlefield. Like I said, he didn't rout in the real fight, but you can see that the battle's pretty much over. So my opponent's strategy was pretty good overall. He should have pulled those bows back, though, and reinforced the walls with his infantry troops. In a small fort like this, he could have had coverage on most of the walls and simply reinforced on his weak spots or at the castle gates, and then fallen back and used those archers as best he could at that point. Otherwise, good game to him. Hope you all enjoyed that, and I will try and bring you some siege battle footage of me defending next, since I showed you me attacking. Hope you enjoyed my goofy story and whatnot. I try and make these interesting for you, but I know that I'm not necessarily a comedian, but I'll do my best. Anyway, yeah, I don't think I was going to say anything else. Oh, well, yeah, I'll explain some more strategy when I show you the one where I defend. But my attacking strategy there was, obviously, since it's a single tier fort, use a meat shield, get into combat as quickly as possible, use my general and a couple of other special units to support. So that was my Marathon Monks and my Katana Hero. Anyway, Heir of Carthage signing out for now.